I'm Michael Truly. Tonight on Master Debaters, we turn Schmo against Schmo as we slap each other on the butts and say, good hustle, but good American hustle? On my left is Christian Harloff. On my right is Mark Ellis. Each is one half of Schmoes now. Mark is a man who's such a fan of American Hustle that he has spent hours on YouTube trying to figure out how to recreate Bradley Cooper's perm. Is that right?
That's why I'm wearing the hat.
Because it didn't come out that well.
While Christian is a man who was devastated when he found out that Amy Adams' accent wasn't British. Gentlemen, before we get started, if I was going to swindle the mayor of Schmoville, which of you would that be?
Swindle means steal from?
Yeah, the answer would be me.
Yeah.
The mayor has to know what swindle means.
Yeah. Well, he's the only one with money.
Mark, you have 10 seconds to introduce yourself and tell us why your opinion matters.
My name is Mark Ellis. I'm a schmo and a comedian, and I won the 1993 Regional Battle of the Books Championship. I gave up reading after that and focused on movies. 20 decades, 20 years, cinema experience, not good at math.
Time. Christian, you have 10 seconds to tell us who you are and why your opinion matters. Go.
I am Christian Harloff, one part of the Schmoes, certified on Rotten Tomatoes, first YouTuber to do that. And my mistress, my wife would say, is the movie theater.
It's a tough way to Mark, you have 30 seconds to state your opinion and why you feel that way about it.
I loved watching American Hustle because it's the reason why we go to movies. It's fun, it's over the top, it's zany, it's madcap, it's hysterical, and it's dramatic. You get to see 5 of today's greatest actors playing against type. David O. Russell can combine comedy and drama so well, and you get to see some very cool cameo performances by the hilarious Louis C.K. and the guy who's great in any time period piece, Mr. Robert De Niro, plus Jennifer Lawrence's boobs. Done.
Go.
I'll start off by saying that I don't disagree that the fact that it's so fun to watch people play around, but that's what this movie felt like. It felt like a play. It didn't feel real. There was a lot of stuff. To me, it felt like a Scorsese ripoff. Do I think it's a good movie? Sure. Do I think it's completely overrated? Yes. It didn't feel, first of all, Jennifer Lawrence, talk about her boobs, fine, yeah, they're there, but you know what else was there? Too young to be that role. She was doing a Sharon Stone impression. A lot of impressions in this movie, a lot of weird wigs in this movie. Therefore, I don't need it next to Wolf of Wall Street.
Time. So Mark, you have 60 seconds to state your opinion with cold, hard scientific fact.
The cold, hard fact is that Martin Scorsese, as far as I know, does not own a patent on the zoom button, so somebody else can use that as a storytelling device. What David O. Russell actually did that's genius in this movie is that much like the actors who were playing against themselves and kind of having fun with an elevated portrayal of real life, that's what David O. Russell did. He went outside of his normal box. However, he still gets an interesting performance from each one of those actors. He takes something that gives them some drama, some comedy, and they kind of have all this stuff boiling just below the surface, and to watch it explode in the last 20 minutes of the movie is fantastical, if I may use a bad word. American Hustle has everything that you want from a period piece that takes place in the late 70s. You get to laugh, you get to get really, really solid focus on emotions, and again, Jennifer Lawrence's tits. I cannot state that enough. She's doing a Sharon Stone in Casino impression. I only wish she was doing a Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct impression. This is one of the most fun movies and one of the most fun times you'll have at the cinemas this year. That's why you go to movies. I love 12 Years a Slave. I don't want to watch that again.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for getting all the women on my side, Jennifer Lawrence tits.
What I'm here for.
Now, look, as far as your Scorsese argument, is it a very nice nod to Scorsese? Sure, but the fact that he didn't patent it, yes, he did. When you think of that shot, boom, in, who is it? On the face. You think Scorsese, you think Goodfellas. This is clearly someone who's trying to have his own version of Casino. David O. Russell has his own style, Silver Linings Playbook. Fighter. So why do I not see David O. Russell's style into that second half of the movie? I agree, the last 20 minutes is great. You're into it, the writing's great, but it takes so long to finally get there. What movie am I watching in the beginning? Performances? Bradley Cooper's doing the same thing he does in every movie. I wanted to see a little bit more Bale phenomenal. I wanted that from everyone to loop it and not feel like I was watching people playing dress up. And that's what it felt like for the good majority of it. I was entertained, but it just wasn't Oscar caliber the way everyone's saying, this is the best thing since sliced bread, because it's not. It's a movie that is forgettable. Once awards are done, you're never going to hear of American Hustle. No one's going to care about it as one of the greatest of all times.
Okay, so now each of you will get 60 seconds for a rebuttal. You ready?
Why do you have to sound like you're in some ivory tower and be very hoity-toity about watching movies? I'm sorry we didn't all go to prestigious universities like Florida State, okay? You get to sit there and you get to say, oh, well, this isn't David O. Russell style. I don't really want to watch a movie and think about what the guy behind the camera is doing. There's a reason why he's behind the camera. He's ugly. We don't care about him. I just want to see a great story on screen. I want to be entertained. I want to get immersed in this world, and that's what American Hustle let you do. It was watching the United States dream and how that can corrupt people, how that can make them make erratic decisions. How far are you willing to go to chase something you really love? I know that on a daily basis because I Facebook my ex-girlfriends. It's a fun movie. That's all I care about. And the performances, by the way, you get to see Christian Bale do something he's not used to do. Jeremy Renner do something he's not comfortable doing. Amy Adams gets to put on kind of a fake British accent. Didn't you love how that British accent kind of came and went because she was playing somebody who isn't British, and then so it was like a double layer thing? And also, she had nice boobs, too. So, again, there's nothing wrong with this movie.
Christian, 60 seconds for a rebuttal.
I do not disagree that it's a great script. It is. And where I will disagree is the fact that you say, I don't care who's behind the camera because I'm not paying attention to it. Yes, you do, because otherwise you wouldn't remember those styles like Scorsese. You wouldn't be paying attention to it. It's a matter of executing from start to finish. This movie did not do that. And in the beginning, it's a completely different movie. By the time we get to the crux of what the story is really about, you lose a good majority of people. So I disagree wholeheartedly that a director you shouldn't care behind, because he does put a stamp on. That's why Silver Linings Playbook and Fighter was so good, because of the way that the execution was done by David O. Russell, and it just moved around and did not feel like his stamp.
Time. What are your guys' picks for Best Picture?
I think Gravity is going to edge out 12 Years a Slave for Best Picture, and let's put American Hustle in the bronze medalist spot.
I think 12 Years a Slave is going to edge out Gravity for Best Picture. I think it is absolutely going to take it. As far as, we're talking American Hustle, the only one I think has possibility, even though I've been arguing against her, is Jennifer Lawrence. I think she possibly could because the Academy loves her.
So let me just sum up some of the points that you made.
Yes.
Christian.
Yes, sir.
Plays not real. Plays are actually real. They're real things that happen with real people. Ooh, bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
Mark, some of the points that you made.
Yes.
Somebody should patent the zoom button. That's a very good idea. Needed nudity in Van Halen. Yep, absolutely agree there. Prestigious Florida State. Isn't that prestigious?
You stop that. Stop. We're national champions.
That's
How about
okay.
that? That's all I got to tell about you. You don't knock champions. The two of you. I don't care who you are.
Get behind the camera, ugly guy.
Sorry, guys.
Says the Topher Grace lookalike.
That's all for us here tonight on Master Debaters. I'd like to thank my guests, the Schmoes, Mark, Christian. Thanks so much for being on. I really love your haikus, and I'm going to train them. Come back next Thursday for more of Master Debaters. Let us know what you think of American Hustle in the comments below. Obviously, it's a little divisive. I'm a little divided on it, which is weird because my left side is into it, my right side is not. We'll see you next Thursday right here on Cinefix. I'm throwing my pin now. Watch your nuts, camera guy, because it's coming right at it.
Oh, he hit him in the balls.